Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Ninja Knight. Make sure you like the video, make sure you share the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you. So today Hasbro had a Fan Force Friday and it was all featuring Transformers. So I was very much so looking forward to this, but I think with the recent leaks that we've seen of these figures beforehand, it wasn't really much of a surprise. However, I do like seeing these promo images and they do give us a nice clear look of what the figure looks like and what will be coming with the figure, particularly the ones that we haven't seen that have been reviewed already by certain YouTubers. So they say they got the touch, they got you know the rest. Just revealed on comicbook.com for the first time ever, characters from the 86 movie are joining the Studio Series line. With Echo inspired by their appearance in the animated movie, Autobot Hot Rod and Autobot Jazz are ready to light our darkest hour. So we have Hot Rod here, and I have to say I'm very excited by this one. Hot Rod is a character that I'm a big fan of, and I know a lot of people who grew up during the G1 era wouldn't be too big of a fan of this character given the circumstances in which Optimus Prime met his demise in that movie. That is one that still hurts, actually, personally. So we have Hot Rod here in his alternate mode. Looks very nice, looks very close to what we've seen on the animation slides, and I have to say I'm a big fan of this alternate mode. I do think the little bit of gappage here is a little bit of a pity. I would have liked to see it a lot cleaner personally, but I think ultimately when it transforms into this robot that looks quite accurate in my opinion, I don't think I can complain too much given the fact that this is at a Voyager price point and this guy is in and around a just about a deluxe class scale. He does come with, as we can see, the extra guns. He comes with some energy effect as well too that I think will look absolutely stunning around the Matrix. He comes with his buzzsaw, and also as well too he has a spark emitter, or sort of spark fixer as they were calling during the stream. We have the Matrix of leadership here, and Autobot Hot Rod's head opens up and flips down the visor. That is iconic in my opinion from the scene in which he spots that there's a hole in the Autobot shuttle and then he has to go and shoot at the shuttle because he sees that it's Decepticons. So I'm a big fan of that scene personally, and I think recreating that now is going to be a very interesting feat in my opinion. Given that all of the lasers as well too, he comes with additional lasers that can actually plug into his arm boosters, I suppose, in his alternate mode, and then in his robot mode they are blasters then. So as we can see here, that piece goes around the Matrix. This is the inside of Unicron, so you can recreate that lighter darkest hour moment. I think this is beautiful. I cannot wait to have a Rodimus Prime, particularly in this Studio Series. I feel that is going to come pretty soon, and I think that would look absolutely stunning personally, and you could have them nearly side by side. I think that this is a purchase that I think might warrant me maybe having one or two more. Jazz for me here, that was a big surprise. This is a character that for an awful lot of people that don't know, Hasbro have very much big difficulties with getting the rights towards this car. They fudged it here and it looks quite close, and I think that that's great, and the alternate mode of the robot obviously looks great as well too. Obviously this filler, this kind of empty hole section isn't great, but I think we just kind of have to deal with it, and there are some third party companies that are out there that do produce fillers. I'm delighted to get Jazz in the main line. They talked about on the stream the last time that we've had him was during Combiner Wars. I wasn't a fan of that at all. I did personally think the alternate mode was a lot nicer looking, but I think the figure was a little bit fiddly, and personally I don't see a lot of those Autobots as being combiners really personally. I think the one thing that is disappointing in a way is Jazz, as many fans know, used to just sport the number 4. They've decided to put 14 on the side. Now they alluded to it in the stream, but that's probably got something to do with rights. Personally, I would have loved to see them maybe put 44 on the side. It would still give you that image of him just wearing the 4, and you could kind of play around with that, but making a 14 really sticks out in my opinion, and I think that is a period that's just not number 4, or like I said, number 44, which I think would have been a better idea personally. Jazz comes down with the Moonbase 2 scene, and I think that that's really nice. I think that we might see a future Bumblebee in this line that would be closer to the animation. I think Hasbro, if they're clever, they will do that. They will do an awful lot of characters that they've done before, you know, like Optimus Prime, Megatron, Soundwave, closer to what they look like in G1. Now, can you get closer to what they look like in G1 than some of the figures in the Earthrise line? Probably not. But I think Hasbro can certainly do it with Bumblebee. I think they can get that mold even closer to how he looked like on the animation screen. I love this, and as we know as well too, we have Cliff Jumper as well too that accompanied Jazz, so I think that this could be a really nice one to see personally. We know that we had Bumblebee on the other moon base with Spike, and this one I think would look nice with Cliff Jumper. Cliff Jumper could be another one that they could put into this line in a brighter colour scheme, and I think they could probably get away with that one personally. I'm a big fan of this now, I have to say. And the box art was one thing I have to say I'm personally heavily critical of, because as we can see here, this is an image from maybe somebody internally at Hasbro as an artist. Why, when we've been getting Studio Series figures and on the side we've had CGI renders that have been done, that have been seen in the movies, why didn't we get something that looked a lot closer to the animation accurate models that we've seen in the 86 movie? I would have loved to see something maybe like a slide or something that was just way more akin to what we've seen in that original movie. Seeing these images, it doesn't really excite me in terms of this box. I would have liked to see images that were way closer to what we've seen on film, personally. Given that the rest of the box is absolutely beautiful, I love the fact that it has Transformers the movie on it. I love the fact that it has 86. I love the fact that they have the likes of the names here. They have the number 1, number 4 here. But I think that they missed out by making this kind of generic, in my opinion, very unappealing art on the side of it, personally. So I'm a little bit disappointed with that one. We got some more reveals as well too today in terms of Transformers, and Transformers certainly is pushing out the boat on this box set side of idea. And we've seen that Devastator was coming with a box set. Now, we've known that for a number of months. It is priced incredibly high. I personally think that that is probably because of the weight and the size of the box, so that means that the item is going to be a lot dearer. It's going to be a lot more expensive. They have said that there is a little bit more of updated deco on that, and I suppose like when you look at it, yeah, there is updated deco on it. It does look like he's in the sand, but the likes of Long Haul, for example, who turns into the dump truck, he's just permanently there with some sort of yellow muddy markings on the side of him. Personally, I think that the single releases were a lot nicer for the Constructicons. Now on to what was the main event for today. These got leaked out and I did the video on them yesterday, and I'm delighted to see official images of this. However, I do also have criticisms of these guys, funnily enough, even though I was absolutely excited by Grimlock. So Hasbro said, and there you have it, the rest of Studio Series Wave 1 revealed, which includes some of the most iconic Autobots and fearsome Decepticons to ever grace the silver screen. We dare you not to be excited. Available for pre-order now on Hasbro Pulse. There was a lot of giggling as well too during the stream, and I have to say I wasn't too big of a fan of that. I liked the guy who was the sculptor who looked really interested in it. I seen him talk about the Zoids and how he led that design. He talked about working with Takara. I thought the other two people that were involved in the stream were a little bit cringe personally. I would have liked to hear him way more personally, because he seemed like someone that was really interested in the sculpts and getting things right. This looks like a miniature version of the MP that was out a number of years ago. Now, I know some people will be happy with that, but I personally think the likes of the rivet lines and the bolts that are here on his nose, I would have liked to see these be flat panels and for it to be looking as close to that animation as possible. I think, actually, as a matter of fact, the more detail they've put into this has actually taken away from that kind of flat, unique mattness of those animation cells. And I have to say, I'd be a bigger fan of saying that this is just absolutely clear. I don't like the lines personally. I think it's over detailed where it doesn't need to be. I understand why they do this, because, you know, it's mostly grey plastic, so they're trying to say, well, we're painting it and we're giving you this figure at this price point. We want to make it more appealing that we have these rivets in it and these sort of designs. No, just leave it out. Give us what exactly was on the screen, and I'm happy enough with that. I will say the alternate mode of the dinosaur looks really nice. I don't think you can get it wrong. It's a pretty simple design. I do not really like the head personally. I think the head, again, like I said, I'm bringing it back to this idea of it doesn't need the bolts in its head. It just needs to be flat. It needs to look exactly like it does on screen. Grimlock had a very appealing looking dinosaur head in an alternate mode, and that's all you need. I will say the robot mode head, that looks absolutely outstanding. And I think overall the figure does look really nice. I like the fact that it comes with Wheelie, and Wheelie doesn't seem like he transforms from what I can see. That's a little bit disappointing, and I have to say, I would have liked to see maybe Wheelie that's able to convert into the alternate mode that he had within that movie, but I think that they might use that for another figure later on down the line, or maybe they might give an alternate mode of Wheelie to maybe Sludge, or maybe one of the other Dinobots, maybe like Swoop, because they do seem to seem like they want to put smaller figures, as I would say, kind of slug figures, into with these later class figures to make them bulk up and make them basically worth the price. The gun looks excellent. I like the kind of design that's on the arms. I hope it's going to be like a vac metal or some sort of kind of chrome. That would be really cool in my opinion. But overall, I wouldn't be too surprised if you've seen this be a flat grey. They talked about they had to finish up the deco, and that's why they hadn't got a physical response for that today. Here we have Blurr. I'm a big fan of the character Blurr, and I have to say with this, I'm not feeling it. I have to say, I like the alternate mode. I think the alternate mode looks absolutely fantastic. This kind of hover car. I don't think the head looks great personally. I don't think the face looks amazing personally. And I think the way that this is hanging off his arms as well too. This looks really big. They've actually highlighted it here with the way they've posed it, how big that this piece of kibble is that hangs off the arms. Yeah, for a character that I'm a big fan of, this is a little bit of a letdown. Personally, I would have liked to see something way closer to the animation model. Personally, I know they can only do so much because it is such a weird design, but I think even that looks absolutely awful, in my opinion, hanging off his arms. Given the fact that he's essentially supposed to be the Transformers version of a speedster, he is supposed to be super quick. It doesn't look like he'd be running anywhere quickly with that. He does have this spark melder or whatever they call it. They call it some sort of spark fixer anyway. Interesting. It's a welding machine. It's a welder, spark welder. It does look nice. The gun looks nice, but overall I think that this is a character that I'm a big fan of, and I think they've dropped the ball a little bit on this one. Now, I have my own theories. I think eventually they are going to do masterpieces of some of these figures, and I think that they do purposely put some kind of little flaws in there so that when the masterpiece version eventually comes, you look at that as being the ultimate representation of what was on screen. So yeah, that was Blurr. Here he is. There's a group shot image with him, Cup and Hot Rod. I think the Hot Rod is the best looking out of them all so far. I think that looks great. I would like to see the eyes be picked out in a bit of a lighter blue. I think they are kind of a little bit too light at the moment that you can't really see them. The head sculpt for Blurr, in my opinion, isn't great. You have a him. I love this though. I love this background stuff that they have with these characters. I think it's beautiful. They have him there with Autobot City behind them. I love that. I think that's brilliant. That looked great beside the likes of Metroplex, and it would look very nice as well too if you had Omega Supreme knocking around as well too. I know that he wasn't in the movie, but however, yeah, you see what I'm saying about this hanging off his arm? It just doesn't look good. It just looks cumbersome. Given the fact that Hot Rod looks absolutely outstanding. You can't really see much kibble on him at all, and the same for Cup. It is a little bit disappointing that Blurr seems to have gotten the short end of the stick. When you look at Cyclonus and when you look at Scourge as well too, they look really nice. RC looks fantastic as well too. Granted, her backpack comes off, but you know what I'm saying. Bit of a disappointment with him, I have to say, even though it's a big character that I'm a big fan of. Cup, we've seen him now already. I love Cup's background with the squid. That's very cool. And I like the way that they have Cup here that's designed with the removable parts. Will that cause problems in the future maybe to do with keeping the parts on? We'll wait and see. Personally, I'm never a fan of these parts that can remove easily. I find that that's going to cause an issue later on down the line. But they're confident with it, and again, I would always recommend people buy two of these, I suppose, because that's what I do. Voyager Scorch looks absolutely outstanding in my opinion. I like the blast effects that comes with him. It looks absolutely brilliant, and I have to say, when you look at the head sculpt and the way it's designed for Blurr, it's super disappointing, because when you see what they can do, which is this, it just says to me that maybe that the budget was kind of lowered on Blurr and they went somewhere else. Can you blame that? Not really. That was really interesting during the stream as well too. They called out that Scourge was Thundercracker. I love that. So that's gonna set off a big debate, I think, between fans. I love this though. This background's absolutely beautiful, and this is what I'm talking about. If on the front of your box you can pull these animation stills, why are they not on the front of the box? Why are they not on the side of the box? Why are you giving us a third party artist to give us a rendition of the character that doesn't look as good? I mean, the art from the movie is iconic. It's beautiful, and I have to say that this looks absolutely stunning. I'd be very much happy to see this. Could you imagine sticking your Thundercracker there, and then you can actually envisage in your mind, and you swap them out for Scourge, and there you go. There's your Scourge. Man, I'm really excited for that now, I have to say. Very much so. But you see what I'm saying? Like, the art's not great in my opinion. I think it looks very generic. That looks exactly the same as the art that was used for the Power of the Prime's Hot Rod and Rodimus Prime. That looks exactly like the art that was used for Jazz in the Combiner Wars. That's awful. I don't know what sort of expression that is. His mouth is looking like an Xbox controller. Very strange. Blurr looks okay. Scourge, okay again. Very blocky head looking on it. I think the art's very uninspiring personally. I think it's very disappointing. Here we have this Devastator then. The construction pack. It looks like there's a darker material being used for the arms, particularly in the yellows, which I think looks nice. We can see here that we have this sandy colour that's going through long haul. We see Overlord's head poking out there, Overlord's head poking out there. We've got some more paint on the head of Devastator himself. I think that looks really nice. Will people be spending 350 plus on this? I can't say it. If you picked up the individual releases of this, what would be the point? Yes, it does come with a big backdrop and a big box for the combined form. And yeah, I can see people buying that. Personally, I think I'd be interested in it. And I'm a sucker for these kind of repaints as well too. And if we can have it in a combined mode constantly, and the other constructicons then in their robot modes, yeah, I'll probably end up buying this. I think they've got a sale out of me with that one personally, when they could have waited. This is something that they teased and they said at the end of the stream, and the two ladies that were on the stream got absolutely giddy with this. This is embarrassing stuff personally, I think. There are people that are out there that would be interested in this, but they held this for the last like it was a big reveal. I mean, no. Why don't you show us what's coming in Kingdom? The Ark. We know the Ark is coming in Titan class. Why haven't you hyped that one up yet? Like, why was this your hype and My Little Pony? It really goes to show the kind of state that Hasbro in are at times, and with Transformers, I don't think they really know what they're doing, personally. Bad idea. We've seen that they've decided now to do this retro line of Headmasters. We've got Brainstorm here, it looks nice, comes with an animation accurate head. I personally like the way it looked in IDW, so I don't think I'll be buying into these ones. We've got Hardhead. I've got the Takara version, so probably won't be buying this one either. But I can understand people that will. Crown Down looks nice. And then we have Mind Wipe. So, yeah, these look nice. If you missed out on the Titan Returns ones, yeah, that's great. You can buy into them. But, no, it's not for me. I'm not really interested in that whatsoever now, personally. And this was something I think that a lot of fans will be aggrieved by. I've talked about in the past about the problems that Hasbro have had, and other companies, with Target. So much so that NECA are actually selling stuff from their own website now due to the fiascos that have happened with Target. But Hasbro still seem to want to deal with them. Now, we've seen a fiasco that's been operated with G.I. Joe Classified, and a number of figures, I think about 6 figures now in total at the moment, maybe 7, have been dedicated to giving them to Target, and people have found them incredibly difficult to find. And you've seen essentially scalping going on then after the fact. What they've done with this today, I think, was probably a better idea, in that they dropped pre-orders for this rather than dropping these items in stock, because that causes absolute havoc. But for international fans, if you're an international fan, one of these characters hasn't been carried over just yet, and now you have a hole in your line at the moment. So we have here just revealed the Earth Royals line just keeps getting better. Check out these new additions and sound off. I would like these internationally, and I don't want exclusive Hasbro. Get it through your skulls. There are international fans out there that buy this stuff. Making an exclusive to a US site or a US store is absolutely ridiculous. Also, your US fans are finding this stuff incredibly difficult to get as well too, because I've had a number of people that have commented on my videos about how difficult it is to find this stuff even in their own stores. So get it out of your mind about these exclusives. If you want a line to go away, certainly do exclusives, because enough people will walk away eventually and just say it's too hard to find. I've seen multiple people on G.I. Joe forums that have said that they're out of the classified line already. That's just begun because you decided to put so many exclusives in it. They're starting to do the same now with Transformers. That's going to start bugging an awful lot of people. This is the brother of a character, a pretty prominent character that they're pushing forward right now, and you're going to make him an exclusive? That's ridiculous stuff. So here we have Runabout. Looks nice. Personally, I think it looks really nice. It's a black redeco of Run Amok, so looks really nice personally, and I think it looks nice. You're going to have it looks very similar. I'm going to just throw this out there because I won't be surprised to see it. I could see this being remolded, particularly the head, as Kit from Knight Rider. So Hasbro have been doing an awful lot of Transformers crossovers. With the fact that this is black and it has red here, it's a very easy remold. They could just remold, have a new head, and change the signal to an Autobot, because they seem to be doing an awful lot of Autobots with their crossover lines, probably to make sure that those brands are happy that it's a positive light that they're being shown in, you know yourself. And I could see this being actually retooled somewhat into Knight Rider. Personally, I think that'd be great. This is one that really bugs me though. You've decided to put Trust, one of the Seekers, probably one of the most prominent Seekers, as a Target exclusive. What are you doing, Hasbro? Other YouTubers would be happy about this and won't comment on this whatsoever, but I'm going to talk about it. This Hasbro affiliation with Target and giving them exclusives is ridiculous. You had a G.I. Joe classified line. You announced, I think, 4 figures. 2 of those figures were Target exclusives. People just threw their hands up and said, what's the point? Because what is the point? You're out there at the end of your stream promoting a stupid crossover, in my opinion, in My Little Pony. Embarrassing. And yet you're going to put a prominent character like this one as a Target exclusive. Basically a middle finger to the fans. Oh yeah, good luck finding this one, guys. I mean, what's that about? Now, as I said, it's nice to see that their pre-orders have dropped right now. But in the times that we're in, have people got the money to be dropping pre-orders on that now at the moment? Maybe not. I know you're going to say to me, but it's superfluous money that you're going to use towards that. Yeah, okay. But the thing is, ultimately, this should be a wide release in my opinion. It shouldn't be a store exclusive. That is just putting the middle finger up to your fans. Make it widely released. I mean, the messing, the hardship that people went through to get that Rainmakers pack was unbelievable. The hardship that people went through to get that Ratchet was unbelievable. They're prominent characters and they're being given as store exclusives. That is ridiculous in my opinion, and it's wrong. The same with the Power Rangers line. There's been exclusives given there, the likes of the Green Psycho Ranger, Zordon and Alpha. What's the game? What's the point? You're just actively trying to irritate fans, put holes in their collections. Because I've heard as well too that this isn't going to get a UK release. So this is a very prominent character and a prominent character in your Seekers. So everyone can't complete their Seekers now if you don't happen to live in America. That's wrong. Hasbro, get a grip. Sort it out. Ultimately though, it's a nice looking figure. I would like to see it. Now personally, right, if you're going to do an exclusive, do what they did with this. Put it on Amazon. Because you know what? Fans all over the world can access Amazon and they can ship to their countries. Happy days. Everyone wins. Exclusives bother me. But if it's accessible like Amazon have done it for Star Wars, they've done it now for Transformers, and they seem to be doing it for a number of other brands, why not just go with Amazon? Everyone's happy. Simples. Going towards Walmart, going towards Target is stupid. And whoever's making those decisions, either Hasbro need to be looking into them and saying, what are you doing? Or that individual needs to take a long hard look in the mirror and say to themselves, why am I causing fans such strife and bother? Because that's essentially what they're doing. Put it on Amazon. Put it up for pre-order. Get as many people and as many eyeballs on these things as you can, instead of just leaving it where it is, in the likes of Target, and it's causing chaos, people to walk away. Take a leaf out of NECA's book maybe, and start opening your Hasbro Pulse site as well too to international fans, instead of actually limiting it, or actually set up an Hasbro Pulse in Europe or someone else that people can access it. Because this Hasbro Pulse exclusive nonsense as well too is wearing me thin. It's bothering me something terrible. So that was today's show for Transformers the Studio Series. Overall, it was an okay show. 30 minutes of did we learn anything? Not really. Obviously, you know, the crew are going to be a bit disappointed with the fact that an awful lot of leaks got out there, which you can understand. I can understand that people would be bothered due to the leaks, but the leaks have happened. You're going to have to do something about it. Something's going to have to be done in terms of when you come to a show, people have to see something that's new. We've known about these figures now for months, particularly the Devastator one. I mean, that was broken on one of the message boards, I think, over a year ago. Like, that's how long ago people know about that box set. So, did we learn anything really new today? No. It would have been nice to see more movie figures. It would have been nice to see the Titan class figure from Kingdom. I mean, why they're holding that one back when everybody knows about that one, particularly because of the poster art, absolutely baffles me. So why are they deciding to do that, in my opinion, is a strange move. Why don't you promote some of the other stuff? Why don't you promote Wave 2 of Kingdom? I know it's a couple of months away, but with the way things are going at the moment and certain YouTubers being able to review these characters and these figures, it would make an awful lot more sense if you got ahead of the game and said, I want eyes on my streams, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you what's a wave ahead. So then what happens then is the YouTubers that are revealing and reviewing these figures that are coming out a lot longer before than you release them, they're getting the eyes on them, and then people look into these streams and don't care and saying, yeah, pass, don't care about this. That's if I was a business, I'd certainly be getting ahead of the posse, and I'd certainly be doing what the Power Rangers did. Now, it's no surprise to me when you see John Warden on Power Rangers and immediately they got ahead of the leaks. There was a couple of leaked items. They had some extra stuff that were in that stream to say, look what we have, guys. And you're going, wow, that was actually a great stream. The people in charge of Transformers clearly don't have that savvy to say to themselves, well, okay, that's been leaked, we better talk about something else now. Like, your big reveal today was a My Little Pony. That's shocking stuff, I think. And it just goes to show the ineptitude, I think, sometimes. I was worried when John Warden was leaving this brand, and today filled me with more worry, because if this is what we're going to be seeing, this drive towards My Little Pony, this silliness, this weirdness, this, actively trying to not play as fans, in my opinion. I mean, the comments absolutely lit up when that tune came on. People are like, what is this? You were there to promote Transformers. You were there to show us what's going on in the studio series. Where's Jolt? Where's Dino? Where's the remainder of the Dinobots from the Age of Extinction? Where's multiple other characters that have appeared in that movie? Why don't you show us what's in Wave 2 of this? Maybe a sneak peek of Wave 2 of what's in the studio series from 86. Is Wreck-Gar in that? Is Springer in that? Is RC back in that one? Because she can come with a visor as well too. Maybe another release of that same figure with a bit of a different paint job. I'd be happy enough with that in an 86 line. Go through things like that. That would be the better way to go. Show us Slag. We know Slag is coming. We know Sludge is allegedly coming along with Swoop. Show us something to do with them. Why are you actively letting these things be created, and then they come from factories and go to certain YouTubers, they review them and the cat's out of the bag? Get ahead of the game. That's what I'd be suggesting now at the moment, and come out and give fans something to talk about, because ultimately I watched the stream today. There was loads of giggling through it. Didn't think that was great. It's very boring. And I also then thought well, what did we learn from that today? Nothing. So if you don't have a plan in place of what people should be learning from that, you revealed Hot Rod and Jazz yesterday through pictures. People have seen it. Ultimately don't care. Blurr gets out there. Yeah, okay, that's really the only reveal. We knew about Grimlock as well too. Grimlock looks like a shrunken down MP. Did we learn anything there? No. He has a wheelie that comes with him. Oh, great, does it transform? No. Okay, well then, nothing learned there either. Scourge, we've seen for a long time now as well too. Cup, we've seen for a long time. We've actually got reviews of both of them, along with Hot Rod. So, if I was Hasbro, I'd be sitting there saying, well, okay, right, what have we got for Wave 2? Tease maybe one or two of them. But you close out with My Little Pony. Oh, stop. This is a brand I think that might be in trouble in the next couple of years if they don't play it right. Anyway, that's my thoughts for today. What did you think of the live stream? Did you think it was good, or did you think that there was a lot of warning signs there? Did you think that there was a lot of alarm bells going on for you there, like I did? Or do you think that the brand is going in the right direction? I think there's enough people there at Transformers clearly that care. This seems like, to me personally, this seems like that's something that John Warden probably overseen. Given the fact that things are usually developed about 2 years out, I would put my bottom dollar on John Warden being involved with this one. So that gives me some hope. But if your big reveal at the end of this is a My Little Pony, that's worrying, man. Very, very much so. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video there. Drop a comment on the video. I love chatting to the fans. And also make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you share the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It really helps. The army of the Ninja Knights are growing, and I love it. So I'm delighted to see how much it's growing. I'm loving to see all of the people in the community chatting away. And I've created a Facebook page as well too for Ninja Knight if you'd like to join me over there. I'm also on Twitter, and I have an Instagram page if you'd like to join me there. Anyway, I'm going to talk to you later. Good luck.